Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Moina Bass Fishers. I am Jim Moina, professional bass fisherman, and have been for 30 years now. In this video, we're going to talk about my first 2 days of practice here at the One Bass US Open. And the lake is Lake Mohave, which is on the border of Arizona and Nevada. It's the lake down, it's on the Colorado River. It's the lake downstream from Hoover Dam. Above Hoover Dam, you have Lake Mead. Below Hoover Dam is Lake Mohave. All right, so I've had 2 days of practice, and I've got, I've got Thursday, Friday, and then we have to be off the water on Saturday, I think by 3. And then Sunday it's off limits, and then the tournament starts Monday. It's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday tournament. So anyways, we're nearly halfway through practice, and what have I learned? Well, first of all, this is my third time fishing this lake for the US Open, and I've gotten low checks each of the other 2 times, just catching everything on drop shot. So this year, obviously drop shot will be a big part of my plan. But I'm looking at some other things and looking at some other depths too, because I was fishing pretty deep in these previous 2 years. This year, at least in practice, I'm going to look at some shallower water. I'm going to run some banks with top waters and maybe some jerk baits and just see what I can get going there. And that's what I've been doing the last 2 days. I haven't gone to any of my spots from previous years, just looking at some new water and fishing farther up the lake than what I ever have before. Just check it out, see what it's like up there. And I really haven't found anything that gives me good reason to run way up the lake. I'm catching fish, yes, but am I catching the winning fish? No. So that's kind of where it's at there. Tomorrow, I'll probably fish up the lake one more time. And then on the last day and a half of practice, I'll probably just run, look at stuff that's worked for me in the past. Just run the old water, see how that goes. So here's the funny thing. Yesterday was my first day out here, and yeah, I forgot my Navionics mapping chip in the hotel room, which was no big deal because Lowrance has all this mapping installed on the units. So most of the time, I'm just using the maps that are built into the Lowrance units. They call it C-map. However, when I got out to the lake yesterday, I realized there is no contour lines for the map. Lowrance doesn't have any contour lines on Lake Mohave. So here I am thinking I'm going to be drop shotting deep water, and but you know what? No contour lines. So anyways, I fished all day yesterday without contour lines, and I found 3 groups of smallmouth yesterday without even having contour lines. So that was kind of interesting. But I did have a waypoint. I did drop waypoints, and then when I put the chip in today, looking at those waypoints from yesterday, it's like, yes, of course. Now I see why the fish are there. Just the way the contour is laid out, the way they're laid out, it made sense to me. So that was interesting. And then today, of course, with contour lines, you know how many groups of smallies I found today? 0. None. So that's just kind of silly to me, because having contour lines is such a big advantage. And but between yesterday and today, you wouldn't know it, because yesterday was so much better. yeah, so I did fish. I have fished some bank, running the banks, and there's fish up on the bank. Um, but whether I'm out deep or on the bank, I haven't found winning fish yet. That's what's bugging me. And last year I never really got that many good ones either in practice. I'm just catching fish, so I don't know what I got to do. I feel like this year's got to be my year, but it doesn't. I mean, why? Why does it have to be my year? There's no reason to. You just got to have faith, I guess. You got to be confident that you're gonna go out and catch them. So, but I really like fishing this tournament. I've fished it many times on Lake Mead when they had the one Bass U.S. Open there, and now this will be my third time on Lake Mohave, and I'm looking forward to it. I like fishing here. I like everything about this whole trip. So I live in Minnesota. So I drive. It's a long drive, but it's really kind of a fun drive because I see. I don't drive out west that often. The only time I ever drive out west is for this tournament, and that's about once a year. It's been, out of the last, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years, I've probably fished this tournament maybe 6 times or so, maybe 7. I don't know. But anyways, it's a fun drive because, I mean, it's pretty driving just in Minnesota, and then you get into Iowa, and that's easy driving. Roads are pretty straight. You got good sight lines, and then you get into Nebraska. My Google Maps took me to Nebraska, and it had me take back country farm roads the whole way out to North Platte, Nebraska, which is all the way on the western end of the state. I don't know why it didn't take me down to I-80. I don't know why, but I just went with it, and it was pretty cool and it was really easy driving actually because there wasn't that many people on these roads, which is nice. They were one laners, so I mean that's not always ideal, but there wasn't much for traffic though, and all the roads are straight as an arrow for the most part, and which makes for easy driving. You get good sight lines, and once you get to western Nebraska, man, I mean, there's not near as many trees. It's wide open. It's pretty cool. It's cool. It's hilly terrain, and I don't know. It's Nebraska's underrated, if you ask me. And then you get into Colorado, and eventually you get to the Rocky Mountains, which is I drove through the Rocky Mountains this year, and it's like whatever those yellow trees are, they were prime fall colors in the Rocky Mountains. It was awesome, really cool, pretty. I got a couple pictures posted on my Facebook pages of some of the Rocky Mountain pictures. Yeah, and then you get into Utah, which is like Mars. So that's a really interesting landscape. And then you go through a little bit of Arizona, then you get into Nevada, then you drive past Las Vegas, and then you get here, Laughlin. This is Laughlin, Nevada, where I'm at now. So it's just a cool drive. It's a lot of miles, but it's a really cool drive. Really, really cool. And I always try to, not always, but a couple times I've stopped on the way back home and gone on hikes and stuff. So maybe I'll do that again. I don't know. We'll see. That's whatever. So yeah. So what's my plan for the rest of the practice? Probably a lot of drop shotting, and probably mostly drop shotting at this point. I don't know, running the banks today. I mean, I had a couple good fish, but I don't know. We'll see. We will see. And of course, you always got to factor in the wind here because it can be really, really windy. So we'll see what that does. I was looking at the weather forecast last night for the upcoming week, and I mean every day was like 10 to 20 or 15 to 25. So, but today, I mean, today wasn't bad though. It was like calm all the way till like about noon, and then it was like 10 to 15 the rest of the day. So that was doable. But yeah, okay, well, um, that sums up my first 2 days of practice. Haven't found the winners yet, so they're out there. Gotta go dredge them up. Thanks for watching. Over and out.